Hi, welcome to class. My name is Shelly Kwiatkouski. I am the founder of Hot House Yoga here in Ormond Beach, Florida. And this is my lovely assistant, Sarah, who will be demonstrating as well today. And we wanted to introduce you to a yin class with blocks that's going to create a front body stretch opening. So with that said, you're going to need a couple of props. You may need a strap, a thicker block. So one that's more like 4 inches. And as well as a narrower block, or this can also be a pillow or a blanket for the back of your head if you find that it's difficult for you to keep the occipital ridge towards the floor. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started in bridge pose. We'll bring our feet to the back of the mat and lower our head all the way down to the ground. Now as you come into bridge pose, it is so important to make sure that this bigger block goes underneath the pelvic bowl. So you'll be able to tell if it's in the right spot if your fingers can touch it. Allow your knees to rock from side to side. And then once you get down and you notice your chin is higher than your nose, take the narrower block and place it behind your head. And this will allow you to tuck your chin in a little bit more and then draw your scapulas in towards each other. And you can let the knees be as generous in the width as possible so you can start to feel this in your lower back. And if you need stability, keep your hands on the block. Otherwise, come back to center. We're going to inhale the right leg up towards the sky. Now as you extend the right leg up towards the sky, we're going to reach for that toe. So you may need to use the strap, or you can take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Start to pull it in a little bit closer towards you. Maybe it goes to the back of your calf. If you have the range of motion, just slide your hands all the way up and reach for the big toe. We'll take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now the more active your heel is, the better the stretch on the back of the calf. But remember, we don't want to be an effort. We want to relax into it. The least amount of resistance as possible will allow the body to soften into the experience. Now on the next breath, the right leg will come back up, the foot will be flexed. You can go ahead and release your strap. You're going to externally rotate your right thigh bone so that it goes to the corner of the right side of the room. Descend your heel all the way towards the front of the mat, and as you start to open that up, relax that foot all the way down to the ground and let that right hip sort of just drop a little bit. You're going to feel the left hip's a little bit higher, the right hip's a little bit lower. And at this point, start to relax your hands back down. Maybe you start to soften your eyes or close them all together. Just enjoy the sensations that are coming up as your body begins to release. One more breath here. We're going to flex the toes back up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale that leg back up. Now we're going to take an awkward pose. You're going to bend your right knee, placing the right ankle on the left knee. Once you do that, you can take your right hand, if you like, and press that knee gently towards the floor or away from you. The idea is you want as much space between your belly button and your thigh bone as possible, and try not to judge your range of motion. And again, relax your arms down if your body is ready. And we'll take a couple breaths here. From here, start to take your left foot, just come up onto the ball of the foot, toe heel that left foot into the middle of the mat. That will help you take the right knee over the left knee. There you are, your legs are just crossed. You take a big breath in and a big breath out.
The intention is that the more we change the range of motion, the bigger the stretch for the back body as well as the front body. And we'll hold this for a couple breaths. Now on your next exhale, pull both knees in towards the chest. Now as you do that, you want to bring them in as close as possible. Feel the rounding begin to happen through the lower back at the same time. Sometimes we need to hold on to the block for support, or you can wrap your forearms all the way around your knees. But you want to feel that C curve in the lower back, so keep working on opening up the lower back. One more breath here. You'll take your left hand up towards the sky. Now you're going to grab the blade of the right foot. And from here you're going to hold on to that foot, keep it as close to the left hip as possible. So pull it in a little bit. And then both of your knees are going to go towards the front of the mat. And the idea is to keep both knees together and relax the arms down as much as possible. And again, if you need support, you can take your right hand and just gently encourage that knee to go a little bit more towards the front of the room. All the while staying connected to your breath. One more breath here. We're going to move into a one-legged happy baby. So as you release the right foot, the right knee is going to come in towards you. You'll grab the outside blade of the right foot. Externally rotate the right knee towards the armpit. And then open up the right leg. Now that left leg is going to want to splay out. Try to encourage it to stay in. So maybe you toe heel your foot back to the edge of the mat so it creates that balance. One more breath here. We're going to take a one-legged fixed firm. You'll take your right hand, place it on the shin. You're going to slide it down on your ankle. Roll over towards the left hip so that you can take your right foot, place it on the top of the mat for a one-legged fixed firm. One more breath here. This is a pretty intense stretch. So you can keep your weight a little bit more towards the left if that helps. And then eventually what happens is your foot will start to open up. Keep adjusting a little at a time. There's no rush. And you're going to feel this amazing stretch through the quad. Use your forearms if you need to get your chest to elevate a little bit more so the quads get a bigger stretch. Work with your body instead of demanding something of it. One more breath here. Take your right hand to those toes. Take that leg back up towards the sky. Hold on to your block. Now we're going to make circles with the right foot. The right foot's going to meet the left. We're going to go to good side number 2. So again, adjust your props so that the block is in alignment. You feel like your head's supported. Maybe in the second set you don't need the block anymore and you can just let it go. The left leg's going to come up and the foot's going to be flexed in the same intention. So as we start to bring that in, start off at the thigh, grab your strap if you need it, take it towards the calf, take it towards the ankle, Maybe you grab the big toe. You take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now there's this tendency, right? The right leg's going to want to splay out. And sometimes that feels really good. But for the sake of today, we want to stay centered in the plumb line. You can hold on to the block with your right hand as you bring that left leg in. Now every breath you take tells your body it is okay to soften into the experience. One more breath here. Now, just like we did on the right side, your left leg is going to be parallel. Externally rotate the thigh bone all the way out. And use that heel. It's going to be your driver. Now, the idea is the calf is going to slide down the right leg as it hits the floor. And then we're going to relax it. So feel how there's a slope. That left hip is going to be a little bit lower than the right. And the idea is to give you that whole front body stretch that we all could use right now. Start to flex the toes of the left foot. Turn the toes towards the ceiling. Inhale that leg all the way back up. Here's that awkward setup. So you'll externally rotate the left leg, place the right ankle on the right knee, and let the left knee fall towards the floor. Again, if you use your left hand to help it descend, keep softening. In through the nose and out all the while. On your next breath, toe heel your right foot to the middle of the mat. That's going to give you the range of motion to just bring your knees together. Just marinate here for a minute. Now you'll feel that your left hip is higher than your right hip. This will give us a great IT band stretch. On the next breath, lift the knees up, bring them towards the chest. Your hands will grab at your knees. So you'll just hold on to the knees, pulling them in closer. Some of you can do hands to elbows, maybe wrist to wrist. You may want to hold on to the block as you draw your tailbone up a little bit higher towards the ceiling, and you'll feel this rounding in your lower back. Readjust the neck if it's appropriate so the chin is tucked in towards the chest. Pull the belly button in and up to make a little bit more room. And this doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the breath. Just breathe into your back body. Now the right hand's going to come up towards the sky. Take your right hand, grab the blade of your left foot. From here, you'll take your left heel close to your right glute. Now descend your right foot towards the floor and enjoy the stretch. You can take your left hand and press into the thigh bone, or you can hold on to the block. It's a great stretch for your feet, so really work those toes since we know fixed firm is coming. One more breath here. You'll release the foot. Bring your left knee in so you could slide the hand all the way down, reaching for the outside blade of the foot for your one-legged happy baby. Now that knee's going to want to turn out. So the secret is just move the foot over towards the edge of the mat. If you feel like you need support, remember to hold on to the block so you can get that external rotation. We're trying to open up the back body and stretch out the front body. So try not to be stiff, but remain curious. One more breath here. You'll place your left hand on your shin, start to point the toes of the left foot. Start to slide your hand down as your knee goes towards the front of the room. Now maybe the big toe starts off on the mat first. Then you start to work the tops of your toenails. Then you work closer towards the tops of your feet. So rock to the right side, and that'll allow you to get that foot a little bit closer towards the ground. Now remember, this is pretty intense, so take a big breath in and a big breath out. We're looking to get the stretch through the quad. That's what we want to do. So hang in there. And on the next breath, slowly release that foot. Take it back up towards the sky. Hold on to your prop. Make circles with your ankle because it feels so good. Now we're getting ready to come to a close. And this is one of my favorite stretches. So make sure your prop is nice and comfortable under the tailbone. Then extend your legs so that they're wide and your feet are completely turned out. Feel the stretch that goes from maybe the belly button all the way down the leg channels and into your feet. You can let your arms come out to your side, taking a big breath in and a big breath out. If you don't have a lot of time on your hands, maybe you only have 5 or 7 minutes, this is a great stretch to sort of wake you up. If you have more time, then stay here in final Savasana. If you do not, then you want to place both of your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up and release the block. Now as you release the block, just allow yourself to connect with the sensations of the physical body and try to avoid the whole pulling your knees into your chest. What you can do, however, is have the knees touch and then toe heel your feet out to the edges of your mat. What this is going to do is neutralize your spine. Give yourself a couple breaths here. When we're ready, we'll roll to the right side. We'll come up into a comfortable seat. We'll bring our hands to prayer at the center of the chest. I'm grateful for this new day, its beauty and its light, and that chance to begin again. May we all be freed from yesterday's limitations, and today may we be reborn. Oh, Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. From my heart to yours, Namaste.